So it's Alabama, Indiana in the Rose Bowl, huh? New Year's Day, 4 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Indiana, I told you they were going to be favored by about a touchdown. We told you that before the Bama OU game happened. Indiana is a 6.5-point favorite at FanDuel right now. Do these teams have the three best wins in the country this year? Indiana went on the road and beat Oregon soundly. They beat Ohio State, and Bama went on the road and beat Georgia. I think A&M going to Notre Dame, that's up there. I think these are the three best wins in the country this year. And all three belong to the participants of this game. So Alabama is facing a really good defense here in Indiana. Indiana has really kind of stunned some people this year. The one thing I will say about Alabama, they will have a very tough time against Indiana. Indiana will not stun them with the quality of defense they play because Bama's played good defenses. They've played like an inordinate string of really high-level defenses. They played Georgia twice, one of them on the road, the other one in Atlanta. They went to Auburn. They just went to Oklahoma. They went to Missouri when Missouri was healthy. They have faced some really, really high-level defenses. So Indiana's defense may have a great day here. It'll just be because they're very, very technically sound and they execute at a high level. It won't be because it's a dash of cold water to Bama's face that stuns them. It won't be that. It is that for most teams Indiana plays. The wide receiver rotation for Bama, with Ryan Williams having the struggles that he's had, that's interesting to watch because with Latsir Brooks coming on and Josh Cuevas now with another 9 or so days, 10 or so days to get healthy, I think that's something to watch only because it's kind of something unique. Now, Ohio State had a great group of receivers as well. Ohio State didn't go into the game thinking we've got to throw the ball to win because Ohio State believes they can run the ball fairly effectively. Alabama knows they can't. So Alabama goes into this game. They'll run the ball to maintain play calling balance, but Alabama already knows they got to throw the ball to win. So they'll be committed to it a little bit differently than Ohio State was, is my point. Jam Miller played, I think, 18 or so snaps the other night against Oklahoma. Really interested to see, again, what another 9 or 10 days means for him. They bought another week and a half for health. There was no team that needed it more than Alabama. That was kind of the thing going into the Oklahoma game. Now, I picked Oklahoma to win the game, but I did say if Alabama wins that game, then it becomes really interesting because you felt like they had enough time to get some guys at least on the field against Oklahoma. Those guys were still not 100%. If they can get through that thing relatively healthy, they don't suffer any more catastrophic injuries, they're going to give themselves about 9 or 10 more days. That's when it really gets fun. That's when you may start to see Alabama at the level, at least, that they played at midseason. Is that good enough to beat Indiana? I have no idea. The Indiana defense has got pressure all year. The Indiana defense is number 1 in the country in pressure rate. Hey, do me one favor right here. Look down. Are you subscribed to the channel? If you are, thank you. If you're not, please click subscribe. It helps us keep the show free and free of corporate interference. All right, that's it for me. Back to the clip. Now, there will be people who look at that and say, yeah, but that's because Indiana got big leads on people all year and teams had to throw the ball to try and get back in games. Therefore, those were situations that were tailor-made for Indiana's pass rush. True. It doesn't matter. That's the game script Alabama has to follow no matter what. Most teams resort to throwing the ball because they have to throw it to stay in the game. Even if this game's tied, even if Bama's up by 3 or 4, they got to throw the ball just because they can't run the ball. So you're going to have Bama in the same position Indiana wants them in, and it's going to come up, or it's going to come down, rather, to that offensive line, doing what they were able to do a little bit in the second half against Oklahoma, and then Ty Simpson doing what he did in the second half and towards the end of the first half, and trusting protection and stepping up in the pocket a couple of times and making some throws. That's the key to this game, to me, because it decides whether we're going to have a 4-quarter game or whether Indiana just makes it boring in the second half, which is, again, surreal to be saying about those two teams based on what the past 150 years have taught us about college football. How good will Fernando Mendoza be? Guy just won the Heisman Trophy, but against the top 3 passing defenses that he faced this year, those were Ohio State and Oregon and Iowa, he was under 240 passing yards in all those games, threw at least 1 pick in all of those games. He did have some key plays like the Penn State touchdown pass Took a huge hit to start the game against Ohio State and still ended up winning the thing. So he hadn't been bad. He's actually been good. He's facing a very good defense here. Alabama's played very good, very situationally great defense this year. And so you got to ask, how good's he going to have to be? Just played Ohio State, and 13 was good enough. I think he'll need more than 13 to beat Alabama. How good does he have to be? How good is he able to be against Alabama? This one's going to be really fun, man. The Rose Bowl, SEC Big Ten out there. I know that it just warms the heart of a portion of America. So maybe we'll go to that one. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I have decided this. I was at 2 games this weekend. I saw an alarming amount of our Christmas merch. Partly because it was freezing in Oklahoma. No, it was just windy. And also partly because it looks really good. So a lot of you have gone to patestateMaterial.com and you've snatched up the Christmas gear. And I appreciate it. It means a lot when you guys are wearing it, because there's only like a microscopic chance that you're going to run into me at a game. So a lot of you come dressed in case you run into me at the game, which begs the question, how many people are coming dressed like that to the game that we don't ever get to see each other? I appreciate you even if you're doing that. Thank you. Look, it's December 21st right now. Do not waste time. PateStateMaterial.com. There's a QR code right there, but if you're listening on podcast or you just don't trust QR codes, I just gave you the website.